Okay. So, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to complete out the weather application that we left out in the previous part, right? And talking about the code, here in this repository, in my GitHub, you will go and you will get over here. So it says weather app, right? Here is the code of the app that we have done so far, right? The remaining app code that we are going to do it today will be also updated in that. And then you guys can download it from here and work with it, okay? So let's quickly begin. Let's open up the VS Code that we were working on, right? This is the VS Code. If you will remember in the previous part, let me just do one thing. Let me quickly open the emulator, right? Yeah. So if you remember when we were doing yesterday, we were not getting this sort of right, and we were unable to even fetch the data. So what was the problem was the code that I written was correct, but it was the problem of indentation and a little brackets over there was lagging behind. And when I corrected that particular thing, you can see now we are getting the data, right? And if I am even changing the city, suppose I'll write London. Okay, so you can see that we are getting London, right? 13 degrees Celsius, light rain. And if you will check that what is the current time, it's 6 p.m., right? So you can see it shows that 6 p.m.'s temperature is 13 degrees Celsius, right? And remaining like, everywhere it's working perfectly fine, right? And I even did what? I even changed the logo over here. If you will check, no, its logo is like this, weather app, and this is the application that we are working. So what I did here, I just opened pubspec.yaml, and inside that I imported a thing called Flutter launcher icons. Okay, so you can just go to here and you can write Flutter launcher icons. Okay, so you will be redirected to this website pub.dev, and inside this pub.dev you will be getting this Flutter launcher icons. You can copy it out and then you can paste it in your this pubspec.yml file. Then after that you have to write Flutter icons. Okay, I'll just show you myself what I have written here. So after writing this launcher icons, you have to write Flutter icons, and inside that you have to give the path of the image. Okay, like I have set this one, this moderate shower, where it is. I think so. It's like moderator heavy rain shower like this one. So I've named it this photo as this, and then I've written Android true, iOS true. After writing this, you just have to run the code. What? Not this one. Flutter pub run, like Flutter pub run, Flutter launcher icons. Then it will do what is when I'll run it like this, it will follow out some page, like do like this, and it will then tell us that yeah, it's done and all like this. We have not provided this for web and Mac OS, so it's telling us like that. And later it says successfully generated the launcher icon, right? So now if I'll do what is, if I will just run it, okay, sorry. So if I just run it over here, and when you will see it gets loaded out, it will be, giving us this launcher icon when it gets launched out, and it will be running perfectly fine. Just let's give it little seconds to, load it out. Till then, you can see we have created a really great application. And color codec and the changes that you want to do in the color, you can adjust that into that constants variable. You can see that we are getting that logo over there, right? And after that we are getting the data. You can see I have done what I have set the default location as Mumbai over here. You can see that's the reason why it's showing the Mumbai's temperature, and you can see we are getting the full temperature details and all sorts of things. It's 29 degrees, really, sunny right here. Then what I have to do here is this part is done. Now we have to create this forecast button. Like obviously, if you remember, we have not created the forecast one in which we will be getting the details of weather forecast, right? Like what exactly is the forecast over there, how it is, and all sorts of things like daily forecast one. So what I will do here is I'll just go up here and I'll create a page inside this UI. You can see I'll create a page called detail detail page detail page dot. I'll create it like this. Now inside this detail page dot I have to write down some code so that you can create that, or you can get that particular details over there. So that is what I'm going to write it here. And if I'll run the original code, you will get to know what exactly is there in that detail page. Is the weather app, right? And yeah, it's working. So you can see if I'll click on forecast, it works perfectly fine. Actually, I have started the server again, right? So it's like that. Now, if I click on forecast, you can see that it's showing this huge, forecast details. So that is what I'm going to create over here. And I'm going to type like speed code because there is a lot of code to type, around 600-700 lines of code. So I don't really want that you guys should, uh, hanging on for another couple of videos. I just want to end this within this particular set. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to uh, firstly, I'm going to import over here. What I'm going to write here is I'm going to write import dot UI, and inside the dot I want UI. Then similarly, I want a couple of more things over here. So what I want import package flutter material dot like that. So I'm going to just copy paste all these imports that I really want to do over here. This much. Okay, so where is the constant? Constant is inside the widget. So I'll write import package weather app models. I like inside that we just need a constant. So I'll just write it down later when we will be dealing it with that. Okay. Now as of now we just need one stateful widget. So I'll write stateful widget, and I'm going to write it as detail page. Okay. Like this, I'm going to write detail page, and that's it. And changing the key, I'll write, there will be one thing that I have to do here is I'll write it as final daily forecast. And yeah, in this I need daily forecast weather. So daily forecast weather will be having sort of all lists of weather that we are going to keep, right? So that is what we need over here. Now inside this, what we really need, we need firstly to return a scaffold. Okay, so what I'm going to write is I'm going to write that it basically needs to return a scaffold. Inside scaffold we are going to write a background color, then app bar will be there, and constant. So this constant needs to be imported over here. So for this, let's just write it like final constant over here. It's not reading our constant value, right? So what we will be doing here is we will be writing the name right here, final constant, and then we will represent that like this. And now you can see it's not throwing us any sort of error. Okay, so this, right, now you can see we have got the page. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to my home page, and if you remember there was a button that we created, it was like forecast. Now we have to change it like this. This is the gesture detector. Yeah, this one. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to uncomment, okay, like this. And this detail page will be imported from there. So now you can see our detail page has been imported, and now we will be getting it over there. So yeah, that is the detail page. So now the main part of this homepage is done. Now just we really need to deal with is the detail page, and yeah, we have to write a lot in it. So let's begin. So you can see we have as of now created that basic text. Okay, basic text is done, background color also. Then what I'm going to write here is I'm going to write an app bar. Inside an app bar, there is a lot of thing to do. Okay, so just copy it out and we'll paste it. Okay, so this is what we have inside our app bar. Okay, so it's like we have created a settings button also. So let's do what I'll quickly reload this page so that you can see it over here. I think it's gonna take about 1 or 2 minutes because already two codes are running over here, right? And I hope everybody can hear my voice, right? Yeah, I think so. Everybody can listen me. Okay. Now inside this, what we have. Let me just close this one and restart this particular one. So you can see it's getting started, and as soon as this gets load up, we will be getting to know what all things that we have to do inside this. Okay. It gets load up. Now inside this, you will see that our forecast is running fine. And as soon as I'm clicking on forecast, you can see we are getting this sort of look over here, forecast and settings. Inside the settings, there is nothing, and this back button, it works exactly fine, right? Because it says that when we are clicking on the back button, it should probably go backwards, right? So now this part is done. After this app bar, we have to start out with body. Okay, so inside the body we have to write a lot. So I'm like going to write stack because we are going to create a stack inside of it. Now alignment, so I want the alignment of the stack should be in the center. So alignment dot center, then clip behavior should be none. Okay, now what I'm going to write children. Inside the children we have to do most of the deal. So I'll use one position. Positions is like we can change a lot of things inside this. Okay, so inside the positions we are going to create a container that will be looking, but firstly let's do one thing. I'll write bottom, so its position should be 0 from bottom, and from left it should be about 0 as well, right? Now inside this inside this child, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a container. Okay, and that container will be having a sort of decoration. Okay, so this is the container. Okay, and this has some decoration, and there is one more thing that I have to add it here is the size. So I'll just come up here and I'll write size. Okay, now it's working fine. So this is the container that we have. After this, yeah, just format the document. Okay, so now you can see this is the container, and container has some border radius which will look like this. You can see it's now stacked up above this. So yeah, this is the container that we have. Now inside the container, we have to add on some more thing. Like, so inside the container, we again have one more stack. Okay. So what I'm going to just do over here is I'm going to write inside this container. I'm going to write child. Inside the child, I'm going to write stack. Now inside the stack also we have a lot of things. So clip behavior will be none. Okay, so clip behavior none, and children should be, again I'll use one positioned. Okay, so again we'll do this, repeat the same method. That is what is I'm going to use positioned, and positioned. Inside the position, what I'm going to use here is I'm going to use top something, what it says over here. child is required. Okay, so inside the position, I am going to add the child. So firstly, we are going to add top. So I want that top should be -50. It should go a little, up. Right should be 20 or something, and the left will be about 20 as well, right? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use child, and inside the child, I'm going to write container. Okay. Now, inside the container, again, we are going to, use the same sort of thing that we are firstly going to declare a height, then again a box decoration over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is inside this container, we are going to use this box decoration format document. So it's like firstly we declared the height of the container, then we declared the width, then decoration will be some gradient that I'll show you. See, you can see we have set it up as -50 from top, so it has become little up, and then we have given some decoration that will be linear gradient, and then we have given some shadow, which is the reason why we are getting this such an amazing shadow over there. So yeah, this is done. Then after this, again, the same scene we are going to repeat it out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write inside this container, I'm writing child, then again a stack, because I need stack again over here, and clip behavior should be none. Okay, so we have to set out these particular variables. It says that we are not we have not defined this, get forecast weather. So for that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to position after this position. We'll close a bracket. Now it's fine, right? So we have to declare this particular get forecast weather and all things. So for that, what we have done here is function. We have to create a function to get the weather. Okay. So let's do what? I'll go up here, and just before this return statement, I'm just going to paste it out. Okay, so let me make you understand what is this. Till then, let's see. Yeah, see, you can see it's running. This is what we are getting it from here. So if I'll change this Mumbai to uh, whatever this is, Jabiru Airport, so you will say it should technically change here as well, right? So that is what we are going to do. So what you can see it here is we have created a variable called weather data, which is having a widget.daily forecast weather that we are getting from there. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have created a map. Inside the map, it takes an integer index, and what it has, it says int max wind, and max wind speed will be saved over here, humidity will be saved, then chances of rain will be saved from this weather data that we are getting from the daily forecast, and this will come from the API that we are using in the front video. Oh, sorry, front page. Okay, then what is this? This is the past date. So it's going to take the date and what exactly date we have data of. Like if it's today's, then it's today, then tomorrow's data, date means. So tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and then we are declaring the format, that what exact format should we use. Then we are using weather name. So weather name will be having like weather data and the name, what it is, condition like sunny, hazy, a little bit chances of raining, and all sorts of things. Then we are going to use a string weather icon. So what exactly should be the icon and all. Then minimum temperature, maximum temperature, and all these things will be stored in this particular forecast data. Okay, and we are going to just return the forecast data, and that is what we are using over here. So get forecast is this, and you can see that it's running perfectly with no sort of error over here. So yeah, after this position inside this stack, we again need to add one more position, and that position will be having the weather name. Okay, if I'll reload, you can see it says weather name sunny, right? So yeah, today it's a little sunny, so it's showing us the sunny. Then what it has more details in it. Like inside this, it even has more. Like now inside this position, we have bottom 20, left 20, and it has a container. Okay, so inside this it has a container which has these, weather items that we created in the previous part. 10 km per hour, 65% chances of humidity, sorry, 65% humidity, and there is zero chances of raining. Okay, so this is what we are getting over here, right? Now, after this, we even need a maximum temperature. Okay, so to get the maximum temperature over here, we are again going to use a position, and inside the position, we are just going to give it right here inside this stack. And you can see now we are getting the position also. It's 36 degrees Celsius. And let me check. Yeah, it's taking some other temperature. Maybe it's taking default Mumbai's temperature. Let me have a look. Mumbai. Yeah, maybe it's taking a little, Mumbai's temperature over there. So yeah, you can see that as of now it's working. We are getting the forecast as well, and we are getting this. So I hope till now everybody is cleared and nobody has any sort of doubt over here, right? If you have any doubt, then yeah, say me and I'll do it. Okay, so let's do what? Let's come back over here. And inside this, you can see that we have to add more details over here, right? So inside this, I again need to add one more position, okay? And inside this position, children will be a sized box. Actually, there was a lot to code. That was the reason why I was, writing it out like in this short way. Otherwise, I would have just did it full code, but we have little, less time, so we have to do like this. So from top, I have to give it 320. Actually, height, I have to give it 320. Let's do one thing. Let's give it 400. Okay. Height will be 400 and width will be size dot width into 0.9. Okay. And this child will, yeah, this part is correct. Format. Now it's fine. Yeah, format. Now after this, inside this position, we have to even give top. So from top, it's 320, and from left, it's 0. Okay. So yeah, comma, and let's rerun it. Yeah, I have not really put anything inside this, so we are not getting anything. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add child, and inside the child, I'm going to add list view. So then if I add list view, then inside the list view, we have some more data that we have to print out. So I'll write physics. So physics should be bouncing physics, like should look little bouncing at all. Then inside the children, we have a lot. So we have to create a card, okay? And inside the card, we will be having a data, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a card. Okay, so let's do what? I'll copy one single card over here and I'll just paste it over. Okay, so that you can understand what we have written over here. So there is one card inside this list view. Okay, there it is exactly. Just a second. Yeah, so this is the card. It has an elevation as well as the margin. If you will see, right, this is the card that I'm talking about, and it technically has all the data right now, right? The minimum temperature is 25, maximum temperature is 30, right? So what it is, it has some padding. So I have even given it the padding. Now inside this, we have a column, and column have the space around. That's the difference. That's the reason why we are getting this gap over here. And also we have a row. So inside the row, we have two data, that is this particular forecast data that we are using over here, right? And also we have this another temperature, minimum temperature and maximum temperature over here. Okay. that we are using. This in each row, one row, second row. This is the data, right? If you want, we can even add some sized box inside that. So S will be capital size box, and let's give it what? Some width of about 10. Right now it's fine. So yeah, you can see we even are getting a little size box over here. So if I'll give it 20, then it will look more perfect, right? And the zero has to be changed out over there. So max temperature, minimum temperature. This particular row that we have, right? Let's just do one thing. We'll go to home page. And if you remember this row that we have created in the home page, so I will just copy this row. It has this, temperature and all data. So I'll just copy it from there, and I'll just paste it over here. Okay. And this is the row that I have pasted, right? So just make sure that all the data that has been written down there has to be copy pasted. So this data that we were getting, right, it has been changed. Font size is 30, and the zeroth is also going to be changed. So 30, 30, right? Yeah, that's it. So this row that we have copy pasted is done, and I'll just see. Now if you will see, we have got that same, 30 degrees that we really needed, right? That's 30-degree exact figure. Like you can see now it looks more perfect, right? That 30 degrees, right? So similarly, it's just looking exactly the same, right? So now you have to do this for minimum temperature. Just copy paste the same thing and do it the same way, right? Or you can make some adjustments that are there in this. Okay, so in that row over here, we just have to do what? Just copy paste this cross axis alignment, start main axis alignment, this one, that's it. Okay, and we have to actually I have copy pasted that into the wrong row. Paste, format, and yeah, now it will eventually look little different, but let's do what, just row, copy from there, and row till this text. It's like just you do what, copy paste this and just change the data. That will be much better than doing this full uh headache stuff. So I'll just do what, I'll just take this row that I have created, copy it from there, and I'll just change the data to get what temperature dot minimum temperature, right? So I'll just take it and change it to minimum temperature. Yeah, now it's throwing some error. I don't know what. Uh, let's just leave it as it is and just focus on the forward stuff, because it's simply wasting the time. And this is just adjustment thing, and you guys can also do it by yourself, right? Yeah. So let's do one thing. Let's leave it for now and let's begin over here, continuing the code, and that adjustments can be made later. Okay. So what we have to do here is, now this part is done, right? We just have to copy this particular card. This is the card, right? So just copy the card copy and paste it right after this card. Okay, so paste and let's rerun and see. Yeah, we are getting little. So now in this card, okay, you can see that we have initial value of get data as 0, right? Let me just do one thing, fold one card so that we can easily understand. So yeah, in this, it's just to get weather 1, forecast for 1. Like, so now we can see we have got getting Thursday, 30th March, right? Similarly, we have to get the minimum temperature for that particular day, and also we have to adjust it the maximum temperature for that particular day. Okay, and the chances of rain and precipitation should we also adjust based on that, right? You can see the changes are being applied over there, and similarly we can adjust it, right? So you can see that that part is done, right? The one card which we were dealing with has been created already, right? Now what we have to do here is we have to go back and inside this just copy paste card again, okay? And this time instead of 1 we have to just change it to 2 so that we will be getting like an array, right? So we are getting a day after tomorrow's data over here. That is just the change that we have to do in the code. Remaining the code will be exactly same, right? You can do what, you can create a widget called card, and you can, to call out all these data into the widget so that you just have to make the code once and it will look even more pretty over there. Let's just reload. Yeah, you can see it's showing us the data 31st March and all, right? And I don't know, like maybe the code is has become little lengthy. Yeah. So format, and we even need to do little bit of changes. Okay, that will help. That will just change the code's layout a little bit. Now it's throwing over there. Okay, so let me just go up. Okay, so inside this, let's just remove it. And over here, like, just have to call out this weather item. Like, means we are just importing the data. And if I'll restart, like, I have just, changed out the little format and padding and margin. So now you can see that the padding and margin is being perfect, right? Over here, we are getting the perfect padding and margin over there. But the only difference is we just have to do some changes in that particular this section, minimum and maximum temperature. So what you can do, you can add spaces between them, right? And I'll just have a look. Where are those so that I can only do it myself? So let's just close one position and this position and also this position so that we can easily go through the code and it will not be that much lengthy to scroll every single time. Yeah, now inside this we have a row inside this row. Yeah, this is the text that we are getting right inside this row. So this is the first row, and inside this row we are getting the forecast weather, and this is the minimum temperature, and here is the maximum temperature. So I'll just firstly add what a sized box inside of it, and we'll just give it a padding of a width of 25 pixels. So yeah, this is 25. Let's do one thing, let's give it a 30. And yeah, so it will be having little gaps over there. And after this, what you have to do here is you have to just adjust this single row. So to adjust this, you just have to go over here, and from here you can take, this padding and firstly copy this and come back here. Now inside this row, paste it out. Format document. Now this text should be wrapped up in the padding, right? So we have to provide the padding. So I'll just copy the padding and we'll wrap this text inside. We'll wrap the text inside. I'll wrap with padding. And now in the padding, we are going to just give the padding like only top. Okay. So now if I'll reload or if let's do one thing, let's restart. Yeah, it's throwing us an error. Okay, a comma error was there. Yeah. So let's just see. Yeah. So now you can see in that 30th, we are getting the zero value perfectly fine, right? And if I'll change this to 25, now it's looking even more good, right? So you can do a little bit of these tweaks and your code is done pretty much, right? And there is nothing much left over here. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this project. Let me just do a little bit of these, tweaks over there and so that it should look a little more good. So wrap up with padding and padding should be given only from top. So I'm just going to give the padding only from top and this text 0 should be also small. Now if I'll reload, yeah, so you can see that it's working fine. Like elements are going great. So this row over here and till here. Yeah, copy. So yeah, we will just copy it out and we are going to paste it every single places where that row exists, right? Oh, like here inside this. Uh, Inside of this, there is the particular row over here. Yeah. So this row, we will just copy paste the row over here and our work will be done. Refresh and yeah, you can see that now for that March also we are getting the data perfectly. It's just we have to add it instead of 0, we have to just increment it by 1 so that we will be getting the accurate data as you can see, right? Similarly, the same thing we will do for this last one. So the last row should be also changed out and yeah, this is the row. From here, we are going to paste and instead of 1, 2 I'm going to add out. Yeah, what error we are getting there. Okay, so now it's done. Yeah, you can see that it looks pretty good and also our code is fully functional. And if I change the location, let's do one thing. I'll change this to Jabalpur, right? And hit an enter. So yeah, this is the Jabalpur's temperature like 38, 39. Current was 39, right? You can see it's like really temperature is really hiked up. So you can see we have even updated over here. We are getting the current temperature like you can see it out, right? 39 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, and all the temperatures we are getting exactly perfectly, right? So I hope you understood each and everything that we have done over here, right? I'm just going to comment out the changes and I'm going to put this in this. I'm going to put this code into my GitHub and you can get it from there, right? Yeah, so you can see my GitHub code has been also updated. So if I'll go here and if I'll reload, you can see that our code has been done over here. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. I hope you understood each and everything that we have done so far. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then yeah, do comment out, and also like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss an upcoming video, right? And yeah, I will see you in another one in which we are going to deal up and create new projects and new things, right? So this was pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you in another one. Till then, see, have a great day and